But there's more to this than just anti-discrimination policy. There also is the issue of people who are trans finding work in the first place. A lot of the times employers are wondering what it means to hire a trans person. Usually what it means is you have someone who's really happy to have a job. We just want to come to work as ourselves because that is what will let us do the best job possible. So by the way, firing people for being trans is basically firing people for being honest. It is not a smart thing to do as an employer. It is also not a smart thing to do as an employer because people will be finding out that you did it at some point, and it will become an increasingly bad idea in the long term when all of this information sticks around on social media. As far as hiring people who are trans goes, what accommodations need to be made at work? Very few. People get used very quickly to the idea of trans people being in the washrooms once we demonstrate to them that we're not going to eat their flesh. I don't really know. Maybe talking to your staff about anything you might think come up, call people by the right name, the right pronouns, and don't freak out if they're in the bathroom with you, and get back to work. Or you can go look up on GLAAD or pretty much any other LGBT organization about how to include trans people in the workplace. If you are trans and you have been discriminated against by your employer, it's not an easy road, but there are some things that you can probably do. First of all, if you haven't been fired, sometimes you can bring it up with people in a way that makes people not feel threatened. Sometimes you can bring it up with your fellow workers, or sometimes even with your boss. To my surprise, when I have been in a situation where there's been discrimination against trans people and other people have seen it, I've talked to people, and word got around and it didn't happen again, which is really cool because most people want to not be jerks. If you've been subject to what's called constructive dismissal, which is you come out at work and suddenly you get put on the night shift and then they ask why you're not performing as well as the day shift, or suddenly all your employment reviews turn sour but there's nothing concrete, that is still being fired illegally, trans or not. Trans discrimination protections or not, constructive dismissal is usually illegal. Thank goodness. If you believe that you have some kind of a case and you wish to pursue it legally, you may be able to do it through your state or province or region or your municipality. But to be honest, it is often a hard road. I don't have a whole bunch of good news ready for you. However, there are organizations that put out lists of LGBT-friendly employers, and that might be a good place to go for your next job.